know me, I'm gonna tell it how I see it. Like, right now, I just don't think we're good enough to beat the good teams consistently on a good night, on most nights. So we played pretty good in the first half, kind of let it get away from us, when we were up 8 or 9. And then the second half, I'm gonna watch the tape, but I felt like we competed, we just didn't make anything. And then when you continually don't make anything, it puts unbelievable pressure on you to be able to guard them. And they made and we didn't. So if you consistently score 50s, then you've got scoring issues, right? It doesn't matter, which then become you don't have enough enough guys that can score. Simple as that. The way I see it.
So what's the next step then? Trying to develop those scores, trying to figure out easier
Well, we
ways
gotta keep developing guys. There's no question about that, but we have to add to what we have. We clearly don't have enough, right? We can say whatever we want to say, but we don't have enough. So would it be different with the other two? Maybe. Maybe we still don't have enough. So clearly we don't have enough, because this was the same team that we beat last year in the tournament. Exactly the same team, right? So, and we played pretty close with them most of the time we played them. But tonight we played pretty good for 16, 18 minutes, and then we kind of, but I don't think it was a competitive issue tonight. I thought the last game was a competitive issue. I think what day we missed our first 9 or
2 field goals in the first 9 minutes.
two field goals in the first 9 minutes. Like, obviously the scoring ain't gonna be good after that.
Did they do something different on defense after that?
No, nothing different. Now they quit trapping, so they kind of soft trapped us in the first half. That is different, but he quit doing that about, I think 8, 9 minutes in, because we got some open looks against the trap. So.
What's discussion on like timeouts during that stretch? Because obviously it's frustrating when you're just not making shots, but I don't know, it seems like you're happy with the effort. So what do you even say at that?
Well, I'm gonna watch the film before I judge on the effort, but I can tell you what I said after the game. So the bottom line is we have to be perfect. So for instance, when Nick Sherrod makes a 3 on us when we're standing there, the scout says you have to make him dribble. So before his knee injuries, he's probably the best 3-point shooter in this league. So you have to make him put it down. And we can't give it up one time, right? Now he made the one. It's different if you're not standing there, if you have to sit in on a ball screen, but we were standing there. And I'll give you another couple. You can't let KO or Grant Golden get to his left shoulder, ever. Never. Never. And they probably got there 4 times. So if it happens once, you got a good chance to win. But it happened 4 times. Right, and then one of them was back cuts. We only gave up one. I think Jackie got back cut at the end of the game, but we didn't really give up any back cuts, and that's been like that for about 3 games. Usually they get a lot of back cuts on you. If Burton beats you on pull-up jump shots, that's fine, but you can't give 3 balls. And we fouled the 3-ball shooter 3 times. Like, I didn't like the one call, because I felt like he jumped in. It was an unnatural movement, but so we fouled him 3 times on 3s. You can't do, we're not winning. Our margin of error is too small for that. But again, we got a young, inconsistent team, and our inconsistencies continually kill us. So we go way down, and we cut it to 13, and then we gamble. We did the same thing at St. Joe. We go up 3, and we gamble, we give up a 3. You can't. Like I told him, I said, this isn't a junior college game, or it's not a low-level Division I game. If you gamble against a good player, they're going to make the 3. So it's just discipline and inexperience, and, lack of consistency.
Were they gambling too much on defense?
They did on that play. I felt like we guarded, and in the last 5 or 8 seconds of every possession, they scored. Which that's disheartening as well, right? And look, we're a little small. When Monier doesn't play, we're really small, right? And then when he does play, he's so inexperienced that he's gonna make some mistakes. But we gotta throw him out there regardless of the result, to get him better. See what he is.
Any reason you only shot 7 foul shots today?
Do you do interviews with the referees? I don't know.
I could.
I mean, I don't think it was a poorly officiated game. I mean, I don't know how many they shot. The league as a whole has been physical all year long. But I didn't think this was as physical a game as a lot of the other ones. Like, I thought Dayton was way more physical. I thought St. Louis was way more physical than this. They're a finesse team.
Coach Richmond Spears tied his season high on assists with 75 in the first half, but he struggled offensively going up against Gilliard, and it's been a stretch. If you include Jordan Hall and Kyle Lofton, Malachi Smith, a lot of really good point guards in the A-10. And he sort of struggled as of late. How do you keep his confidence high, not only as a passer, but also as just a playmaker overall?
I don't think it had anything to do with him. So when he gets it here, and our guys are out here, those guys are right there. They're shrinking the floor on him like mad. Just like they do with LeBron, right? That floor shrunk, so there's nowhere for him to go. So he had a few better openings in the first half because they pressed a little bit and got spread out. But in the second half, when we ball screened up there for him, and these guys there ain't anywhere for him to go. So he has to deliver, and those other guys got to make. I think we made 4 the first half and didn't make any the second. Threes.
You were 4 for 21.
Yeah, 4 in the first half.
So they're just shrinking it out. Trey's the one that's always open, and he went. His brain's not allowing him to make threes right now, and he can make threes, but his brain's not allowing. Just like Caressi shot 82. Not Caressi. KO shot 82% from the line last year, and he's shooting 43 right now. The brain's a crazy thing, right? Did you see his free throw?
Yeah.
You talk about yips, right? And he made 80% last year. Think about that. So that's the same thing. With Trey not making those, it really shrinks the floor.
Who are you looking? You mentioned just not good enough right now offensively or whatever, but on the
Just not good enough, period, right now to beat the good teams on a consistent basis.
Who are you looking for to fill that void right now? Who are you, when you look at this roster, and I asked you earlier about developing guys, who are the guys that give you hope that, this is going to get better? You know what I'm saying?
So when you say going to get better, the question is when? Is that what you mean?
Well, I mean, I guess I'm just sort of asking because, I've been to a few games now, and this is the talk that we have a lot after games, right?
Yeah, I think. Look, we're gonna take our lumps. We can play for periods of time, but against the good teams, we're gonna take our lumps some. We had a small margin of error, and then the 2 guys got hurt, and that hurt us badly. Now again, everybody gets through injuries, but some people are built better for injuries than others. We're not built very well for injuries with a brand new team. And so, again, I'm not making excuses, but I think it's the reality. Look, you're playing Monier instead of Rotroff. Rotroff's 20-some years old, has played a lot of games, and I'm not saying he's an All-American, but he was playing at a high level. And then Gunn was a 20-point scorer. Now, you can say Division II, and I really don't know how good he is either because I haven't really seen him play in games. But I know one thing, in practice, he puts the ball in the basket. So, Bob Huggins, he's not any different coach than he was before. He's just not quite as good inside, right? It's the same thing. We're just not quite good enough yet right now. So all I'm trying to do is build habits, get them better, so then when we add people to them, now we can be competitive again. We're probably less competitive now than my first year. I mean, that's the facts. The scores don't lie, the record don't lie. We have a harder time this year than we did the first year. We had more experience on that team than we do this team. This team's an experienced team. It's my job to teach them.
Assuming everybody comes back next season, do you expect things to get better? I mean, these guys with the years of experience, behind him?
I mean, we have to add some pieces, Jerry. Like, just because you're a year older doesn't mean you're better. Right? I mean, I'm sure everybody will get better, but you have to be significantly better to jump to the top 4 in the league. So you look at our team that we had the year that, not last year, because that wasn't even a year, right? That was, I don't even know what that was. But the team that we had that year could beat anybody in the league on any given night. We did. We won 6 games on the road. We won at VCU. We won at St. Louis, right? We're in every single game. We won at St. Bonaventure, right? So we've been there, but that was an old team. Like, even if you look and add Marcus Weathers to this team or Mike Hughes, it changes the dynamics completely. But we don't have them, so like that's my fault. Ultimately, that's my fault. If you don't have enough guys, that's still on me. I mean, it doesn't matter if you have injuries or any of that. My job's to win games regardless of the circumstances.
Everybody's back next year, right?
Yeah, I think everybody will be back. I mean, you never know in the environment we're
I'm
in.
not talking about transfer, I'm just talking about eligibility-wise.
Yeah, everybody but Davis Larson, but we got them all back. And then you get the other 2 kids back, they're both coming back, I think.
Is that encouraging for you, knowing that?
I mean, listen, this is a whole new ball game for me. So if I didn't tell you I was disappointed, regardless of the circumstances and how we played, I would be lying. So yeah, I'm disappointed. So is it encouraging? I kind of live in the moment. So I'm not very happy right now, and I'm not encouraged. But I'm still never gonna quit. I still think I'm a good coach. I still think we got some pretty good players. I don't think we're championship quality. Again, I'm never gonna sit here and blow smoke like a lot of people do. I'm gonna tell you what I think. Do I think we could turn it around and win the championship? No. I think we can get a lot better, and we might be able to put 2-3 games together at the end in the tournament, because we do have some ability. And maybe we get Rotroff back at the end of the year. Maybe we can grow intellectually, and maybe we get hit in the mouth enough times that we rebound. And, because like Richmond was picked 2nd in the league, right? We played with them for a half. Now that doesn't mean anything, but it's still. So somebody told me this, because I haven't really been through this since 93 or whatever it was. I don't know. But somebody told me, look, when you're getting beat up and you're in a tough situation, you have to relish the small wins. So what are the small wins? Spears moved the ball a little bit better. Right, did a good job. He's playing against the best point guards in the league, and I think he's doing a pretty good job. He's guarding the best players in the league. Monier's getting a little bit better. Leon Ayers has shown he can be a good player. I thought Toby O'Connie played his best game maybe of his career here, which is encouraging. So you just gotta look at the positive. And again, look, I feel bad for the Duquesne fans. And look, I owe them more than that. But I rebooted it. And like we talked about, when you reboot, you reorganize. You reorganize a major corporation. Sometimes you don't know how long it's going to take. Nobody wants to hear that. I never said I was going to take 7 years to turn this thing around, right? I never said that. And I felt like we turned it around in year 2, year 3, but we didn't quite get over the pedestal. But we were close. So we did it once. Now I got to decide, we got to decide like how to get us over the hump again. That's all. And basketball is a funny game. You get one guy that changes the whole dynamic of everything. Might be a guy that can score in the low post. It might be a guy like Morant that just makes everybody else better. It doesn't take 100 guys like it takes in football. It only takes like one, and then some really good guys around him. So if you chopped off their head, who's their head? Gilliard. If you took him out of there, they're a whole different team. And you can take it a step further. When they had Blake Francis and Jacob Gilliard, they're a hell of a lot better than they are right now. One guy. So I know it because we had Grant Long at Eastern Michigan and went to the NCAA tournament. And the next year we had everybody back. The twins, who were NBA guys, who were sophomores, all our guys back, and we were 19 and 13. It's a funny sport. You know, it's totally different than any other sport because you can add one impact guy and it makes a whole difference.
The little wins, like you said, like accepting the little wins. Do you think players are receptive to that as well? Like, are they, understanding that that's kind of what you have to do right now and willing to chip away?
So I treat them just like I treat you. So I tell them the truth. I mean, nobody wants to get smoke blown. Nobody really wants to hear that, right? So I try to be truthful with them. Now, young people, they don't handle non-instant gratification very well, right? So I challenged them after the game is, look, the record's the record. The way we played is the way we played. The only thing I ask of you is practice hard on a daily basis and play together. That's all. Don't quit. Because, again, we all know this. We've all been through tough times, so you better learn how to handle them for the rest of your life because there's going to be another one and another one and another one. So I have faith in our group. Is it perfect? No, I mean, when you lose 6 games in a row, it's garbage, right?
You have a lot, you know you have a lot of work to do in the off season, but you knew that even before you lost 6 in a row, right?
Yeah, I knew we weren't great. I knew we were, I thought we were better than this. Honestly, I really did. I thought we were going to be better than this. But we've had a lot of stuff happen, so. And I think a lot of stuff that mentally has affected us. When you lose as many of those close games that we lost and the way we lost them, emotionally, that's hard now. I've never lost as many as that, maybe in my whole career. In different ways that we lost them. You gotta take the, it's all right, I'm gonna give them more time than that. You gotta take the good with the bad in life. This game's been really good to me over the last 20-some years. Like, what am I gonna do, cave in now? Think about it, I've got to coach the best player in the world. I've averaged 24.5 wins at Akron, 21 wins. Only 4 coaches in the country did that. Did a pretty good job here. Now I gotta take my lumps. I gotta take my punch in the mouth, that's all. And, the one thing I'll tell you is the school's been great. They understand, they've been good with me. They understand what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. That's all you can ever ask from the people you work for. Believe me, it's not easy for them. They could get skittish. I get it. I wouldn't even blame them, really, to be honest with you. I get it. That's what this world is. It's a result-driven business. So I'm just thankful I work for good people because, look at the Bengals. Remember, he gave the game ball to Paul Brown because most of those guys are gone after 2 years, right? I mean, that's a hell of a thing when you really analyze it. The Bengals in the Super Bowl.
They only won 4 games last year.
That's almost like Duquesne in the NCAA tournament. Just when people quit on you, you just never know when that's going to come and happen, right? With the Bengals in the Super Bowl, that's like Duquesne in the NCAA tournament. I can still laugh. Because the one thing I do every day is I put my boots on and come to work. That's all I can do. I'm not happy, but I'm mature enough. Listen, when I was 26, 27 as a head coach, or 32, I don't know if I was mature enough to handle this. But I'm mature enough to handle it now. And I got good people around me to help me too. Because there's a lot of days that I feel like eating his microphone. Appreciate you guys.